Good afternoon. Uh, I don't think now I have to speak a lot because already the former speakers has already said many things. Uh, the chairperson of today's program, the respected Narayan Mandai, and we should not forget today the person, Dr. Aswagananda Mishra, popularly known here in Bhaktapur as a Dariwal doctor. उहाँलाई देखेपछि म पटक पटक सम्झिन्छु आई अलवेज रिमेम्बर एन्ड हि कल मी कान्छा भाइ मभन्दा माथिको दाइ पुन्टु भाइ एन्ड स्टिल राइट नाउ अन द वे टु द डायस एन्ड म कान्छा भाइ जस्ट आई ट्राई टु उहाँलाई चिनाउने मैले प्रयास गरेँ एन्ड आई नो उहाँले भन्नुभयो मलाई थाहा छ मेरो एक मोर खाएको होइन तिमीले भन्नुभएको थियो उहाँ स्कुल आएको माथिको तल्लामा क्लिनिक चलाउनुहुन्थ्यो एक तल्ला माथि अनि कहिलेकाहीँ चियाको लागि भन्नुहुन्थ्यो अनि एकपल्ट एउटा मोर फालेर पुन्टु भाइलाई मभन्दा माथिको दाइलाई पुन्टु भाइ चिया किन ल्याऊ भन्यो यो डाक्टर साहबले मलाई मोर फालेको कहाँ दिन्छ मैले भनेर फर्केर जानुभयो स्टिल रिमेम्बर तिमीले मेरो एक मोर खाएको एनिवे सो आई वुड लाइक टु एक्सप्रेस माई सिन्सियर थ्याङ्क्स टु the organizers of today's program and give me opportunity to express my few feelings about the book. And long ago, in the time of the student life, one question always arose in my mind, can letter be literature? This is the questions always came in my mind. The question arose, during that time. But the time goes on, and the passage of the time, we used to read and teach the students Nehru letter, and most of the people here, I think, have read that book. Then, in the course of the reading such books, and another books came in the light that was the glimpses of the world history, and this is my favorite book. And we cannot forget about the M.P. Koirala, the role in the university, Matsugaya Prasad Koirala. So it is also in the form of the letter. And the first speaker, Nawaz, has already mentioned about the Justin Gardner's Sophie's World. Here I have also mentioned. So Sophie's World, the Justin Gardner is the knowledge writer, and it is very interesting and how it presented the history of the philosophy in the form of the letter. And there is a schoolgirl, and she tried to open her mailbox in the garden, and for the first time she found many books, many letters, some fathers, mothers, some for her fathers, and finally she got one letter, quoted her name on the envelope, Sophie. And she was very curious to know, this is letter for me? And she tried to open, and she found only one single letter with the 3 letters. That is, who are you? So this is letter form. And she was curious, and she didn't have that answer, who am I? So if we have to alive, and we must have the answer of this question. And she was very curious to know some more other letters. And then the next day, after some days, again she was looking for the letters. And again she found a letter in her name. And in this second letter, there was another sentence, the second sentence, with the 6 words. Where did you come from? Where did you come from? Right. So in this way, it tells the story of the philosophy, the history of the philosophy. So that is also in the letter form. So that I want to get the answer. Is the letter can be a literature? So I get my answer. And very recently in 2017, I think Yanis Varoufakis, he's the ex-finance minister of Greece, and also a renowned economist and political leaders. And recently in 2017, and he wrote one book in the letter form, talking to my daughter, a brief history of capitalism. he was a very strong critic of the liberal economy. So, when we talk about this book, the word jail or prison is not appealing for us. हामी कसैले त्यो शब्द प्रिय छैन, not at all. It humiliates the human dignity. Jail भन्नासाथ, yes, it humiliates human dignity. People take it as black stain, कसैले कालो धब्बाको रूपमा लिन्छ, or ban, end of the life. कोही जेलमा जानु पर्ने, this is the end of the life, so and so forth. So, but creative people has changed this narrative. Creative people has changed this narrative about the jail and the prison. Prisons can be the undesirable mud, हिलो हुन सक्छ, where beautiful lotus can blossom. जेल किचड हिलो कसैले मन पराउँदैन, छुन पनि चाहँदैन, पाइला टेक्न पनि चाहँदैन, तर सुन्दर लोटस त्यहीबाट उम्रिन्छ. I think this book is the beautiful lotus. This book is the beautiful lotus. Right now, we are talking about. हामी अहिले जुन पुस्तकको कुरा गरिरहेका छौँ, मलाई लाग्छ त्यो त्यस्तै एउटा लोटस हो, त्यस्तै एउटा कमल हो जुन हिलमा फुल्यो, जुन प्रिजनबाट आयो. So, the former speakers also has mentioned about in which circumstances the book has been written or the letters have been written, the series of letters have been written. So in Nepali it is called Rachana Garba. So the book, of course, as many others the friends have opined, is not an ordinary letters, collection of the letters written by a husband to the wife, the beloved spouse, inquiring about the health of family members, food, feast and festival, and relatives. Yes, it is not an ordinary letter. हेल्थको बारेमा सोधिएको र घर परिवारको बारेमा सोधिएका प्रश्नहरूको कलेक्सन मात्र यो होइन. Yes. In my opinion, it is a confession on the part of the writer and also repent that he could not explain beloved wife about his own past. ठाउँ-ठाउँमा the writer has mentioned, even I could not explain about my past life. So the speaker also has mentioned why you have got a late marriage. Always Shobha Bhauja may have some queries about that. So it is natural. It is natural. It seems the writer realized he could not doing justice to her for not giving her enough time to talk. So against this background, the series of letters were written. I think the writer has the thought about writing this letter to clarify Shobha Bhauja as well. So I know as a family member. So I was invited here as a family member. So I don't get I haven't remembered a lot of the time the Dai and Bhaujus just gossip and talking. Sometimes they have some, maybe the romantic things, just talking, but always Dai was busy and going outside and meeting with the people. But sometimes there was an interesting talk as well. Dai used to be in Martin Chota, third floor, and the bed was close to the window, and I stayed upstairs, and it was on the fourth floor. It was little open, the bigger room, and I used to stay there. That was the common room where after the dinner we used to stay and read and write the books with a sip of warmth, the water. And once Bhauja shared one thing. So across that our window where Dais the sit and just read out and write something, and across 50 meters across the opposite sides, and there was a lady and looking at Dai and Bhauja shares, and the Bhauja just expressed, Bhauja shared the feelings. Oh, त्यो केटीले तपाईँ कति हेरिराखेको, हिजो पनि हेरेको, आज पनि हेरिराख्यो. And Dai has to clarify, no, उसले मलाई हेरेको होइन. The Kansa is upstairs, she was looking at him. So I thought interesting. Yeah. It's a real thing, yeah. Bhauja shared about that thing. So some lines are very heart-touching. These lines are really heart-touching that goes, Shobha, you know, when we were together, I used to arrive home late night. By that time, you had already fallen asleep. Next day morning, when I awoke, I found you already busy in household work. I never got time to explain about my late marriage. I understand, Shobha. Unknowingly, sometimes in the course of our short conversation, you inquire if you are my first wife. So, already some other has already mentioned about these things. So, once Shobha Bhaujo shared during that, I have already told about that things. So, when the writer was in exile, Dai Darbhanga ma huनुहुन्थ्यो, in Darbhanga, in the course of crossing the flooded streets, he had to carry a boy. So Abhayji also have already mentioned about these things. एकजना केटोलाई उहाँले बोकेर क्रस गर्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो, and it happens that some of the Bhaktapur people just look at him and saw about that. So that must be a child of the Mr. Narayan Bijukche. But the child belongs to some other else. So next point, the collection of letters is no doubt written for Shobha Bhaujo. Yes, and many things Dai has to clarify Bhaujo about personal life. So when they were together, he did not have got the time to explain all things. So when he was in jail, now he has enough time, so he decided, I have to clarify something. So then becomes the series of the letters. Yes, the collection of the letter is no doubt written for Shobha Bhaujo, but the subject matter and themes encompasses numbers of other fields which benefited all of us. Even I was not so serious about the Nepali version when I read it 5-6 years ago. Now once again, I just turned the pages and I got it's a profound, the scale. Some subject matter, as already the previous speaker has already given their opinion that subject matter incorporates our history and political history, philosophy, arts and architecture, way of life, and without any doubt, it talks a lot about literature. The one letter, very longer worded, is completely about the literature. The context of the rear camel window in Bhaktapur, I think in 3 or 4 times the writer has mentioned about the camel window, Unte Jhal, and how serious, how sensitive he was to the architects. It was very rare, and not only he showed his concern about the preservation of the camel road. Now, how in Bhaktapur, where we don't have got any relationship with the countries in the desert, or any Arabian countries, how the camel came here in our architects. So that was his concern, and he clearly said that maybe Bhaktapur has some relationship with Iran or some other, the Middle East countries. So that was the mind of the philosophy. The writer was found very sensitive to our art and architectures. That is my concern. There I found in this book is also psychology, as previous speaker also has mentioned well. How a personality, its form can be succinctly found here. How respected Narayan Bijukche's personality was formed, this is a part of the psychology. How many things have influenced him to form that personality, that's important. The time spent in Gaur, Abhayji has already mentioned, the time spent in Gaur, involvement in volunteer work, Chintaharan Guru's love and teaching, taking part in literary gatherings. Definitely there is no doubt. These all things has influence to form his personality. Finally, let's look and talk about the letter of October 5, 1989. The writer's sensitivity towards the literature and translation can be clearly observed here. The writer is very, very sensitive about the literature and the translation. The writer warns the readers about the translation and in the course of the translation, the importance of selection of the appropriate words. धेरै वर्डहरू दिनुभएको छ, यसको ठाउँमा यो राख्नुहुन्छ, यसको ठाउँमा यो राख्नुहुन्छ. That means he already warned us. So he was so sensitive about the translation and so sensitive about the literature. So while we talk about the translation of this book, still I doubt if we have done 100% justice to the writer. Hope the publisher and the other team members will consider this fact in the next edition. Thank you very much.